this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful clock card with a light up section so that you have a light in the middle and a light where each of the numbers are to light up the time. Something a little bit different and something people wouldn't know you're doing. And it's made with the JND549, which is the star clock. So let's see how this card was made. To make this beautiful light up clock card, we're going to use the JND549 star clock. So I've cut all of the pieces for this, and you can watch the other video which shows you how to cut the pieces to make the clock up. So you watch the video for how we make the silver clock, which shows you how all the individual pieces are made. This time what I want to do is just to show you how we're actually going to put this together. So I'm going to move the die to one side, and I'm going to bring our first lot of pieces in. So what I've actually done is I've cut the frame maker die in white to give me a white frame, and I've used the square die that comes with it on a piece of black cut underneath. I've then taken the clock die on its own, making sure I get the XII 12 at the top into a piece of coconut white card. And I foam taped between each one of these, so I'm just going to pop this on and put this onto the next layer, which is a piece of gold mirror card that I've simply cut into with the snowflake edge frame and the circle. So we're making up, first of all, our beautiful sort of clock piece. I'm then going to add this all on to the clock, making sure again you get the 12 at the top. So let's just get the 12 nicely at the top, and we're going to frame that up. And this is where, before we do anything else, we now want to be adding in our lights, or putting our battery pack and our lights in. So I'm going to turn that onto the back. I'm then simply going to take a pokey tool and poke into the center, and I'm pushing it through. So I'm using one of the old style woodware pokey tools to give me a nice circular hole in the center. I want to then take my button batteries, my button lights should I say, take my battery and add that in. So these are available on the Art of Craft website, and the fantastic thing is the battery can be changed. So there's our lights, and I simply want to feed my lights through that hole there, and then I'm going to remove the adhesive and pop it down here on the back, which is the bottom right, which means that the button will be on the bottom left. Nice and simple. And then I'm simply going to seal all of that in. So just use a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to pop a little piece of vellum in to cover that over, cutting away where the battery pack is. And we then want to take our foam tape and put that everywhere but where the battery pack is on the four sides. So we're sealing in our vellum, and leaving our battery pack, which is the same depth as our light pack, as our foam tape, undiscarded. So just take off the backing tape and bring our card blank in, checking top fold so it holds properly. 12 at the top, putting my frame on, and there you can see as I press, my batteries are right. So now I can take my wires And I'm just going to wind them round. I don't want them too long. And take a little bit of sellotape over the top of that. I've then made up the dies to give me the perfect middle. We then decide on our time, and our time is obviously where we're going to put our lights. So I'm going to put one in the center, so I'm pushing a hole through. I'm going to take one of those lights and just push it out again, putting a hole through. I'm putting it through that central light. There we go. And I'm going to seal those pieces on. And there I have my central light. And then I'm going to decide on my time. So where I've got these. So what I'm going to do is just to pull those sections together. I'm going to go for, and I tend to always go for around the same sort of time, which is almost like 10 to midnight when I make a clock. So let's just put a little bit of glue on there. Try not to stick it to your t-shirt like I've just done. I'll put that in. And that's going to go from the center. So let's pull that up again and put our lights in the right sort of section as to where I want them. I'm then going to take a little bit of silicone glue, which is safe around your lights. Probably best if I open it first. There we go. And that will just set around my lights. Okay. Then take my two clock hands, put them into position. Take the circle, we will cover that. And then I'm just going to move my lights so that they are gently behind. It takes a little bit of maneuvering. So again, we're just going to take a little bit of the glue gel onto the back and just fix my light and piece in place. I'm going to take a little bit again from the second one. I'm going to fix that into place again, just like that. And then move my piece. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more glue gel just to make sure it's right. And we'll get that all sealed in. So just take a little bit of time sealing your pieces in, and there we have your perfect light up card. Just put a sentiment on or whatever you want to. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not visit the John Next Door official page on Facebook.